That's Dash.
And that's done.
And we're rolling bones.
Today, we're going to be talking Blood Bowl. More specifically, we are starting a season in February with myself, Dunn, Tanner, who you already know, John, who you will meet, and Daniel. Teams that will probably be played. It hasn't ironed it out yet, and I keep telling some of them to not get too attached until they play a exhibition or primer game before the season starts, and then decide after playing with the new rules and or playing their first game ever in some cases. May affect what teams they decide to play. Granted, there is some limitations in teams, but not that much of a limitation in teams that they can choose from. So currently, I will probably be playing elves or black orcs. That is yet to be determined, but leaning towards elves mostly just to frustrate one of the other players that doesn't like elves. In general and everything.
You mind if I play Tanner for the exhibition game?
I mean, we might even play more than one person. Might play multiple people for exhibition games, just for ease of schedules and just so that everybody can get a game in and play beforehand.
5 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's gonna even if
most
of us did one game.
But I think we talk about an exhibition game. Another term might be a primer game, just a game to learn how to play, what it's going before we actually start the season, so that you don't start the season building a team that is going to be no fun or no good because you built it with misconceptions as to how gameplay actually plays. So. Then Dan will probably play Chaos Renegades, which is mostly humans, but has an option for an orc, a goblin, a skaven, a dark elf.
Troll? Is there a troll in there?
We can have a troll. Can have 3 big guys on the team, and it has an option of 4. So a troll, an ogre, a minotaur, and a rat ogre. Then Tanner will be playing some lizard men that are the same built, similar to my lizard men. They're the old fantasy Warhammer lizard men, just with some simple conversions to make them more Blood Bowl-y.
So not the guacamole box set.
Yeah, not the guacamole box set. They didn't have that available when we were doing our lizard men.
It's a new sculpt.
Yep.
That whole team.
I believe John is going to play humans. That's what he's leaning towards right now. And then Dunn has the
halflings.
Yeah, so
I want a bunch of stunty little ugly hobbits running around the field.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen the sculpts for these, but
they're pretty fun.
They're fun and they're ugly too. They just have the goofiest looking faces.
Interesting thinking about them because they're little, easily to get hurt, but they have some little scampiness to them. And with the tree men throwing them at people, it might be a little dangerous for other people. Currently, what we have talked about doing, and this could change as things progress, just like everything. We've talked about doing a round robin where we each play each other, where we play each team twice. And then we will go into a bracket system where the 2 at the lowest win record play each other to get into the bracket. So, unfortunately, one person will be out sooner than the others, but I mean, that's going to be the way of the bracket anyway. But that gives that person who wins that game a little bit more money, a little bit more skill to maybe come back up and surprise some people.
And Lindsay may want to join.
That would be awesome if Lindsay joined. It would be interesting to see who she wanted to play. I wouldn't be surprised if she chose your Dark Elves.
I wouldn't either. Actually, that'd be a good team. So, about my Dark Elves, I took, I'm going to explain it as if you don't know what Warhammer Age of Sigmar is. So in that world, that game, you have an army called the Daughters of Cain. They're all Dark Elves. Even though they're called the Daughters of Cain, there are a few male models in it. However, they're all mounted on horseback. It wouldn't make very good football players. So this team I made is entirely female, and they're all dark elves. And dark elves are considered one of the higher tiered teams in Blood Bowl. I mostly wanted to make it because I wanted a sculpt for dark elves that wasn't the normal sculpt. So I converted a bunch of models. It was actually pretty expensive to do, simply because instead of buying one box of team members, I bought 3 different boxes, and I had to pick and choose from each one, and then I'm modifying them. I'm cutting off weapons and making lots of modifications just to make these players fit their description as best I can. It was fun to do, though.
For those of you not familiar with Blood Bowl, you need to have 11 players, and you can have up to 16 players. So doing that, having 16 player options to go from is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the box sets that you buy actually only come with 12 players.
Yeah.
If you're not interested in going out and buying the book to Blood Bowl, buying a team, and you don't want to drop the money for the core box, which is $150 bucks or something.
Yeah.
Which gives you everything you need to play the game, but that's $150 that for a game that you may or may not want to play and you're not sure about. So right now, Games Workshop and
Barnes and
Noble have a few things going together right now, and one of those happens to be this. It's basically Blood Bowl Junior. You have 6 players on each team instead of 11.
Yeah.
The pitch is much smaller, and like the pass is much smaller, and it's supposed to take about 40 minutes. So and it's about $50. So if Blood Bowl is something you think, oh yeah, that seems maybe fun, but I don't want to get into $150 worth. Well, this is the price of an expensive board game. Average to expensive board game.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. The models are snap fit together. I would glue them together myself, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. And the 2 teams come in different colored molded plastic. So you have yellow for the humans and red for the orcs in the one set. There is another set that also is on sale at Barnes and Noble that
Dwarves and Humans,
which is Dwarves and Humans. And you can actually buy teams specifically for Blitz Bowl that are 6-man teams.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I don't know how much those are. You have the box comes with everything you need to play. Instead of the range ruler that comes in the box, you have this one that just has short and long instead of the 4 different zones that the other one has that's about twice the size of this one.
That's the full size. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different zones.
And so this one just has the 2. So simpler game. Then instead of the large, big dugout that has everything, you have just this smaller dugout. And one of the things that it's nice, it has that little reference there. It tells you what your dice are doing. Tells you what open players can do. So you have 2 of those. It comes with just their little advertisement pack that comes in lots of stuff. Reminds me of G.I. Joe guys when I was a kid. They had their little advertisements in like the vehicles and stuff like that. Like little mini catalog. Then you have your super thick Blitz Bowl rule book that, is, I guess it's actually longer than I thought. It's 15 pages long, but that's including like the assembly guide at the back. And so you can see here how they just all pop together. Pretty simple. I
think they're all 3 parts.
Yeah, a head, the bulk of the body, and then the torso, the front torso. But simple to put together. Anybody can do it. Like I said, they're They come in 2 different colors, so you don't even have to paint them up. You've got them right there.
One reason you'd want glue, by the way, is while the bases and the players are slotted to fit together, the slot's usually kind of loose. So I'd recommend gluing them at least there, if nowhere else.
Anyway, so you have the rule book there. Then you have the pitch, which is about half the size of the regular Blood Bowl stadium. And
look at that, it's got statues on it.
Yeah, statues. One side has 2 trapdoors. The other side just has 1. Here you can see it's got your direction finder, so you don't need the...
I'll get that out.
The template for that.
So the original game has this template. For that's a throw-in for when you have 3 directions to choose from.
Usually when a player or a ball goes out of bounds.
All 8 there.
And that's the one for like kickoffs and stuff like this. And this one has it here, just like Dunn's pitch that he built for the club that he was playing in. He built it into the thing there, so just for easy reference. So it's there. You've got your player stats here. And one of the things that this has, I believe it has the player stats. I haven't opened this up yet, but this first one is a dwarf. So I believe that in the box, you get the player stats for all the teams.
Oh, okay.
That are available. So I like that. And then you also have some special cards that the rules and stuff will explain, but like your challenge cards and things like that. So those come in there too. That's part of that game. And then this is what the sprue looks like that the players come on. So you just clip those out. It does give you a coin on here for determining team kickoff, things like that. You also get a turn counter on here, and then there are a few of the different types of footballs. So the one that just sits on the field, the one that can slot into the base, which I don't ever use, and then another one that can just sit on, or that slots into the base there.
So yeah, mine that fit into the base that I was working on yesterday, I actually cut the pegs off. I'm going to put magnets in them and magnetize my bases, so the ball just flops onto the base. On there.
I don't ever use the ones with the pegs, especially my custom Blood Bowl players. They don't have the hole anyway. But when I flock a base, the hole's gone anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you did manage to preserve it, you don't want to be smushing in the flocking right there every time you.
And the other thing that I learned was I hate trying to get it to fit in, trying to get it out.
Yeah.
So I just use I haven't looked at magnetizing mine, but I just use one of these balls. They're very handily spiked, and they stay on just fine.
Honestly, you don't need to magnetize. It's overkill. But sometimes I want to do the overkill.
But that is so Blood Bowl Blitz, an option if you're just looking to get started in Blood Bowl, Blitz Bowl, sorry. Blitz Bowl is a option, just either you just want to play and you just don't want to have to worry about the rest of the game, a way to get started quickly, or a way to fill out teams that you may not have filled out. Like
you want some extra players for your humans or orcs or dwarves. It's a great way to go, or pick up one of the single teams.
Yeah.
I'm working on my 3rd try for the Tree Man. So the Tree Man is currently sold out on Games Workshop, and I like the sculpt, but can't buy what's not there. So I found in the meantime a 3D printable file that I liked. It looked like it was going to work well as a Tree Man, and I just can't get the thing to scale.
That is a problem with one of the difficulties with 3D printing is trying to scale. It's sometimes it works great, but sometimes when you're trying to change that scale, it's just hard to get it scaled correctly.
Yeah, so I was just stupid. The base that came with it, I was able to scale the base just fine. But if you scale the base 1-to-1 with the rest of the model, your guy comes out too small still.
Comes out about the same size as a orc.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I'm looking for is a big, massive tree, probably the biggest model in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to look at the Games Workshop sculpt and see how it compares.
See how it compares to like a
troll or a minotaur.
I think the troll is with his goblin up. I think he's the tallest model I have.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some 3D printing I've got to do. I'm going to print out a rat ogre, and I found some pads and some helmets that I want to put on some of my custom teams that I built, just to make them look a little more Blood Bowl-ish. Like we've been talking about the different things. The original human team is my favorite.
Mine too. Yeah, we did talk about that before.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past. The nobility team, once I cut off the feathers, look pretty good as far as being like a fantasy type football player, like a Guild Ball type team. Which I looked at. I did look into Guild Ball for options for teams, and in the end, for me, their sculpt or the way that their models are just doesn't fit with Blood Bowl. The Blood Bowl I want to do stuff for, so it just didn't quite work for me, and that's due to the fact that Guild Ball has its own rules, has its own stuff going on, and they make their models for Guild Ball, not for people to convert to Blood Bowl. Well, that's brings us to an end of our Blood Bowl video, I think, unless there's other stuff you want to talk about. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions, put them in. Any comments, put them down there. And look forward to seeing you again.
Yep. Thanks for watching.